Keeping an eye on the third heart demon, the wolf in Deer discovers that he has basically made a city that is half Yao, half human. Basically, the humans are being slowly replaced with Yaos. And while looking around, they discover the fish. He's been here the entire time. So after being sold in a fish market, bought by a merchant, he meets a bunch of Yaos. He frees those Yaos, escapes himself, gets to the Department of Exorcism, but he is caught because people thought he was a monster, and they're trying to decide what to do with him. When a Yao finds him, buys him, and brings him to this city and gifted him a job. And this is how they find him, and they snatch him up, and they're like, oh, I see our little spy is doing well. Well, you're going to be our spy now. And they enforce him, and he wants to know how the main character's doing. He wants to fix his relationship with the main character, and they're giving him no choice. They're not giving him any information about the main character. He is stuck being their little spy, and he wants to come with them when they leave, and they refuse to let him leave with them. They're basically like, you're staying here and being our spy. No ifs or buts. Just know, if the third heart demon discovers who you are, that you used to work for us and also had been a spy for the right chancellor, you're going to be in humongous trouble. We discovered that the Persian prince and his fiancée, they're childhood sweethearts. They've known each other since they were children. They met back when he was studying underneath his master, and that they would basically go to pray with each other every day, or whenever they could, they would pray with each other. And he hears from a saint that the girl, his fiancée, will not be his wife. She is not the one destined for him. And so he takes what she said and he runs with it. And even though the fiancé has basically made them engaged, he refuses to marry her because she's not his destined one. My question is, how are they not destined to be with each other? Like, they are perfect for each other. Like, while traveling with him looking for the artifact that he needs to find, she is fussing at him, nagging at him. She's trying her best to read the papers that he's looking through, but again, she cannot read the language, and she can't fully understand what it's saying, which frustrates her and upsets her because she can't help him. And he sings to her and plays his instrument for her, and it's just a really sweet scene. Just I was enjoying every second of it. And singing to her, he realizes what he needed to look for, which location he needed to look in. And I'm like, how are they not meant to be with each other? They're perfect for each other. The main character is the one that wakes up first from their unconscious state and tries lugging the scholar around, and his whole lugging and swinging from one ledge to the other almost causes them to lose the bottle of ashes of the time dragon into the deep abyss, which wakes up the scholar. The scholar is able to catch the bottle before it falls, and he nags the main character for it. And then the main character gets upset because the first thing this scholar does when he wakes up is basically to yell at him and nag him for almost losing the most important thing, the only thing that could be their savior and hope to getting out, lost in the abyss. And so he basically ignores the scholar until the scholar is literally apologizing for having an attitude. And I'm like, honey, those ashes are important. You almost lost them. He had all rights to yell at you. I was hurt for you getting yelled at, but I also know that you needed it. You were slinging and logging when you could have just waited in one spot to wait for him to wake up, and you come up with a plan to get you guys out of that spot. Honey, think things through. While traveling through the levels, the main character and the scholar, they come across dragons, and they basically free the dragons from the parasites that are attached to them, and the main character, to fully kind of wake those dragons up and basically give the dragons more vitality, the main character gives them back their names. They completely forgot what their names were when they decided to take the job as guarding the towers. They threw away their names, but getting their names back awakened their vitality and gave them more strength to carry the main character and the scholar throughout the levels to where the time dragon was. The Melid and the Persian prince's friend comes across the time dragon, and he tells them the story of the Right Chancellor and how him and the Right Chancellor are related. So once he took the job here, he became very bored, very tired. He tried finding ways to entertain himself. And one day he buddied with a creature who was like the Right Chancellor. And that creature only became buddy with him because he wanted to steal parts of the dragon's soul for himself to be able to escape. The other dragons had warned the time dragon of this, but he didn't listen to them because, again, he wanted that connection. He wanted something to keep him from being bored. And they were proven right. They go and attack this creature, kills the creature, but the creature's body and the time dragon's soul basically swarmed together and became a child. The time dragon, again, not listening to his comrades, decided to take this child under his care. And this child, being like a kid, wants to be free, wants to see the world, wants to know more about the world. But he's entrapped here because of the crimes of its other parents. And it's just stuck here. It's not allowed to be released. And the more it tries to escape, more it tries to want to leave, it causes the other creatures like it to act up, misbehave, and try escaping. Which, upsets the dragons, and they force the time dragon to punish the child by throwing the child into the abyss. But the dragon couldn't handle punishing its child for long, released the child from the abyss, and the child acted like he wasn't angry or upset for being punished. Only it was. Went around doing the bad things it did and then escaped. We learn from the time dragon and the other dragons because the other dragons are telling the main character and the scholar the story of the Right Chancellor, the same as the time dragon is telling the Melid and the Persian prince's friend. Like, they're getting told the stories all together. But they tell them also that the creatures in the Tower of Dragons are allowed to be free. They just have to basically serve their sentence. And because time doesn't work the same in the Dragon Tower, by the time those creatures would be free, humanity should be able to fight against those creatures. Because, again, it was supposed to be centuries into the future. Basically, maybe in the modern age, from the time that the creatures were first put into the tower. We also discover that the dragons chose the tower to be their resting place, their grave. We learned that any of the creatures who are like dragon demons tried escaping before their sentences were finished or completed were thrown to the abyss. It's all the way to the bottom of the tower. It's where all the really bad ones go that will never be free or set to leave the tower. They're stuck there full on for eternity.